What if everything you fear in women, the seeming chaos, the unpredictable emotions, the unfathomable depths, what if all those things are actually the very essence of what you have denied in yourself? That's what Carl Jung, one of the founders of analytical psychology, believed. He argued that the feminine psyche holds the key to the unconscious, that it's through understanding and integrating the feminine that we can unlock the mysteries of the soul. But at the same time, Jung also warned that ignoring or suppressing the feminine principle within leads to a fracturing of the personality, a loss of psychic wholeness. So what exactly did Jung mean by this? What does it mean for a man to have a feminine soul? And why is it so crucial to our psychological well-being? I invite you to join me on a journey into the labyrinth of the psyche, where we'll explore some of Jung's most radical ideas about the feminine soul. Prepare to encounter some of the deepest mysteries of the human condition as we delve into the hidden depths of our own psyches. Jung argued that we all possess an inner feminine, an unconscious source of creativity and intuition that drives us in subtle ways. However, our modern culture, with its emphasis on rationalism and individualism, has distorted the feminine principle and led many men to repress their inner feminine. As a result, Jung claimed that there exists a hidden war within the psyche, a conflict between the ego and the unconscious feminine that must be resolved in order to achieve spiritual wholeness. According to Jung, the first step towards healing this split within ourselves is to recognize and accept our own feminine qualities. This means acknowledging our intuition, our creativity, and our capacity for empathy and love. By embracing these qualities, we can begin to restore the balance between our conscious and unconscious selves. However, Jung also warned that the path towards integrating the feminine is fraught with challenges. Our culture's devaluation of the feminine has led many of us to associate femininity with weakness or even despise it. As a result, we may resist or reject our feminine qualities, leading to a fragmentation of our psyche. This inner conflict can manifest in various ways, such as in our relationships with women, our career choices, or even our sense of identity. Jung believed that this suppression of the feminine leads to a kind of spiritual death, a loss of connection with our deepest selves and the unconscious. It prevents us from accessing the rich inner wisdom and creative potential that lies within us. But Jung also offered a glimmer of hope. He suggested that through confronting and integrating our feminine soul, we can transform this negative energy into a source of great strength and healing. By embracing the seemingly contradictory qualities of masculinity and femininity, we can achieve a state of wholeness that allows us to live more authentically and creatively. One of the most important concepts in Jungian psychology is the concept of the archetype. Jung believed that we are all born with certain innate psychological patterns and images that are present in our collective unconscious. One of these archetypes is the Great Mother, which represents the most fundamental and powerful form of the feminine psyche. The Great Mother archetype embodies both the nurturing and devouring aspects of the feminine principle. On the one hand, she represents the unconditional love and care that we experience from our mothers. But on the other hand, she also represents the dark side of motherhood, the potential for smothering and possessiveness. Jung argued that men often struggle to integrate the Great Mother archetype into their psyche, leading to a denial of the feminine principle as a whole. This can result in a kind of spiritual blindness, preventing men from seeing the world through a more holistic lens. Men who fail to integrate the feminine principle often find themselves drawn to the dark side of the Great Mother archetype. They may become obsessed with control and domination, seeking to possess and manipulate everything around them. This possessiveness can manifest itself in various ways, such as in their relationships with women, their careers, or even their hobbies. Such men often have a deep-seated fear of losing control, leading them to become rigid and authoritarian in their approach to life. They become like a mechanical clock, keeping everything under tight control, never deviating from their schedule, never embracing the unexpected. They build walls around their hearts, shutting down any possibility of intimacy or vulnerability. They cling tightly to the rational mind as a way of keeping the chaotic depths of the psyche at bay. However, Jung also recognized that it's precisely this repression of the feminine principle that leads to the fragmentation of the psyche and ultimately to spiritual blindness. By denying the feminine, men cut themselves off from a source of creativity and intuition that is essential for a holistic understanding of the world. Jung argued that women, too, carry the shadow of the culture, the negative projections of society's distorted view of the feminine. In today's hypersexualized culture, women often find themselves objectified and reduced to their physical attributes. This objectification denies women the chance to develop their true feminine essence, which goes far beyond their physical appearance. When women internalize these cultural messages, they can lose sight of their deeper purpose and feel as though they are nothing more than sexual objects. This can lead to a kind of emptiness and despair, making it difficult for them to find fulfillment in their relationships or their lives. Moreover, women can also perpetuate the cultural shadow by conforming to society's narrow expectations of what it means to be feminine. This can lead to a stifling of creativity and a suppression of their true desires and needs. Consequently, women can end up living inauthentically, denying their true selves in order to conform to societal norms. Ultimately, Jung believed that only by recognizing and integrating the shadow can both men and women reclaim their true nature and achieve wholeness. When we look at the feminine psyche through a Jungian lens, we see it as a mirror that cuts, reflecting back to us our deepest wounds and unresolved conflicts. We might try to shy away from this mirror, but our shadow self will always find ways to make itself known, whether through our relationships, our dreams, or our creative pursuits. To truly understand the feminine psyche, we must first confront our own shadow and integrate it into our conscious personality. This is a challenging but ultimately necessary step towards achieving spiritual wholeness. Jung believed that every individual possesses an unconscious feminine, an aspect of the psyche that is often overlooked or repressed due to societal norms and expectations. He viewed the feminine psyche as a source of creativity, intuition, and emotional depth. However, Jung also recognized that the feminine psyche can be a source of great pain and confusion if it's denied or ignored. Jung believed that the feminine psyche manifests itself in various ways throughout our lives. For example, in our relationships with women, our dreams, our creative pursuits, and even our own inner voice. By exploring and integrating these manifestations, we can access the wisdom and power of the feminine psyche. Jung also believed that the feminine psyche is a powerful force that can help us achieve spiritual wholeness. However, he warned that suppressing or denying this part of ourselves can lead to fragmentation and psychological illness. Another fascinating aspect of Jung's work is his concept of archetypal possession, which refers to the state when an archetype takes over our personality and behavior, often to the point of obsession. Jung believed that the anima, or inner feminine, could, in extreme cases, become an obsession that consumes our thoughts and actions. This can manifest itself in various ways, such as an unhealthy preoccupation with a particular person, or a fixation on a particular object or idea. Jung argued that this type of possession occurs when we fail to integrate the anima into our conscious personality, leading to a loss of control and a fragmentation of the psyche. Now let's shift our focus to the broader implications of Jung's ideas about the feminine psyche. Jung believed that the feminine principle isn't merely a personal psychological phenomenon, but also a reflection of the cultural zeitgeist. He argued that our current cultural era is marked by a devaluation and distortion of the feminine principle, leading to a fragmentation of society as a whole. Jung's concept of the feminine psyche offers a valuable framework for understanding the challenges we face in today's world. For example, the rise of hypersexualization and objectification of women in our culture can be seen as a manifestation of the collective shadow. By recognizing this, we can start to challenge these harmful norms and create a more balanced and equitable society. In conclusion, Jung's concept of the feminine psyche offers a profound and challenging perspective on the nature of the human psyche. By exploring the depths of our unconscious and integrating the feminine principle, we can unlock the hidden potential within ourselves and contribute to a more harmonious world. However, Jung also warned of the dangers of denying or suppressing the feminine principle, leading to a fragmented psyche and a loss of spiritual wholeness. Ultimately, Jung's ideas serve as a reminder of the importance of embracing the complexity and mystery of the human psyche in all its forms. Now, my friends, here's the most critical point of Jung's teachings. He said that the feminine psyche isn't a puzzle to be solved, but a mirror that cuts, reflecting back to us our deepest wounds and unresolved conflicts. It cuts not to hurt us, but to wake us up. Jung didn't believe in a God that rewards or punishes. Instead, he saw the universe as a vast mystery full of wonder and magic. He emphasized the importance of living a life guided by curiosity, wonder, and a sense of awe. Jung was fascinated by dreams, and he believed that they were messages from our unconscious, trying to guide and heal us. He encouraged his patients to pay attention to their dreams and to use them as a source of insight and healing. Jung didn't think that women were weaker than men. In fact, he believed that they were more connected to the unconscious and that they had a deeper understanding of the mysteries of life. He also believed that women are much closer to the divine than men. Jung emphasized the importance of embracing our emotions and using them as a source of wisdom and creativity rather than trying to suppress or ignore them. He believed that our emotions can lead us to greater depths of understanding and creativity. Finally, Jung didn't believe in a God that we can control or manipulate. Instead, he saw the divine as a vast mystery that we can only approach with humility and reverence. He encouraged us to live our lives with a sense of wonder and awe, always remaining open to the possibility of the sacred. And so, my friends, the greatest gift you can give yourself is to dive deep into the ocean of your psyche, to embrace the feminine soul within you. Your pain is your path to wholeness. Your scars are the stars that light your way home. If this stirs something deep within you, I invite you to join the growing community of seekers. Together we are stronger and wiser, braver and more whole.